Hi guys, EV Daryl back with you. As you can tell, or maybe you can't tell, we're sitting in Thor this morning. I've been driving it ever since we got back from Colorado. I've been just a couple. It's the third day since we've been back, but I really missed driving this car. There's so many positives of the Bolt. It's fun to drive. I mean, I got 37,143 miles on it. That's it. Hopefully it's good for another, 150,000 or more. So, but what I wanted to get to you and talk to you about today is the My Chevrolet app. I don't know if you guys have any of these issues like I do or not. It was kind of intermittent before the first year. It worked good sometimes. It worked great sometimes. Other times, not so much. Well, now, what's been happening this last month is I can't get to my battery percentage anymore to find out what my battery percentage is. Like, I did a video of that several months ago when people were asking, why doesn't Chevrolet have the mileage? Why can't you just have the percentage? Well, using Apple CarPlay, I can always get to that. I could pull that up. And I can still get to that on my phone, but the app, and I'm going to show that to you. I just pulled the app up. And so check this out, what it's doing today. And it's been doing this a lot lately. This last month or 6 weeks, maybe. It's really, I'm going to have to get a hold of General Motors and find out what's wrong. But so check out this video. Yeah, so check this out. This is currently the My Chevrolet app that is worthless right now. You can't do anything. It says swipe the screen. Nope. So not only that, if you look at the top, it has service, plan, and assistance are the only three sections. I can't check my battery percentage anymore. That just disappeared one day and hasn't come back. This app, there's times that the screen will be black and it'll be doing this little circle thingamajigger. So, all right, hang on, I'll get back with you. So was that not goofy? So it's not that important to me. I don't use the My Chevrolet app hardly at all anyway. I wouldn't schedule service. I'm an in-person kind of guy. That's why I bought the Model Y. I went through the dealership. I didn't sit in the basement and order the car. I know a lot of people do, and that's great. I'm just not tech savvy. And so I bought the most high-tech car made. But anyway, back to the Chevy Bolt, which I love. Thor's just been great. We're hoping to at least get a couple 100,000 miles out of it. The fun to drive, the savings are huge. But I'm also going to let you know, and I'll add that in, maybe in this video I'll try. We're in the middle of switching over to Power Smart pricing with my electric company. And I have Ameren, Illinois is my electric company. Now I have to go through a full billing cycle, and then, so mine's not going to start till middle of August. But what that does, Power Smart pricing, is every hour your electricity rate is a different price. And overnight, it's like 2 cents a kilowatt hour, sometimes like 1.7 cents per kilowatt hour. But what rate, and then, so what the best thing to do is, obviously, is to charge overnight. Anyone with common sense, I charge overnight anyway. But I'm on a set, currently, I'm on a set 12 cents per kilowatt hour rate. So whether it's 5 o'clock in the evening and it's 115 degrees out or whatever, I pay 12 cents a kilowatt, no matter how many kilowatt hours I use. what's going to be nice is if you can shift some of that, which we're going to charge overnight, both cars. Whether I am, Thor only needs it every few days, 3 days. Probably the same thing with the Model Y, which is now called Luna. The wife thought Luna was a good name. Some of the color, Anyway, so if you hear me say Luna is charging, then the Model Y will be charging. So my wife sometimes drives 50 miles a day, sometimes drives 150 miles a day. So we only need to charge that maybe every 3 or 4 days. So I'll let you know if we have a conflict, because I only have one 32 amp charger, but they're both going to charge at night whenever it's needed. So anyway, a little off task. 12 cents a kilowatt now, which is still cheap, very cheap, is going to go, we're going to start charging at 2.5, maybe 3 cents a kilowatt overnight. So when we're charging, I'm not saying back and forth we will need to charge every night, but I bet you 5 or 6 nights a week we're going to be charging overnight one car or the other. So kind of excited about that. I know they said I have to go through a full billing cycle before all the algorithms can get us switched over to the smart meter and blah, blah, blah. So looks like the middle of August before we get to that. But I kind of wanted to, I'll add some photos of what PowerSmart pricing is. You can know, say 20 hours in advance, what tomorrow's rates are going to be. And I'll add a video in, I'll show it off my iPad. I'll put that in here at the end to kind of give you an idea of what the rates were yesterday, what they are today, and then after 5:30 p.m. today, you can see what the rates are going to be tomorrow. Every hour of the whole day. So we can kind of shift, maybe do our dishes, at night, do a load of laundry in the morning, anything to try to stay away from that 1 p.m. to 5 p.m. Sometimes the rates are very expensive. That's the heat of the day. I've been down that road on a couple of videos. We charge at night when the grid is basically nobody's using anything anyway. So we're going to try to switch stuff to that. And hopefully, Ameren says most people save 15% on their Ameren bill. I'm hoping to save more like 20 or 25% because we're using the 32 amp charger. And if it charges for 6 hours during the night, charge up a car at 2 cents a kilowatt, that'll be cool. We'll get some analytics going once we get this all done. Now that's a month away, middle of August sometime. But back to this My Chevrolet app. Thankfully, I don't need it. It was nice from time to time to drive down the road and look at my battery percentage. But you know what I use when I'm Uber driving? I use the Uber screen. The 10.2 inch center screen is for Uber anyway. I have the Uber app up. The mapping system is there. So is it a little inconvenient? A little bit. Not too bad. It's just one of those things like, seriously, GM? Come on. Seriously? But I kind of wanted to just touch base with you and let you know how much fun this is to drive again. And I've said this in some of my other videos. This car, 90% of the time, is awesome. Top notch. Couldn't ask for anything better. It's that 10%. Whether we're not going to road trip in this anymore. That's done. The charging speed, the fast charging speeds are horrible. GM has never decided to ever make any changes on that. There are no over-the-air updates. Having a Tesla now for 2 weeks, you get to see what a real app is like. I've already had an update. In 2 weeks, I got notified of an update. I pulled in the garage, went to bed. It updated overnight. I mean, it's like night and day, okay? Yes, that car is twice as expensive as the Bolt. But when you see the tech in that versus the tech here, it's like, okay, I guess a computer company really knows how to run their computers. GM, not so much. Not so much. But the car is the important thing. The car is great. It's been phenomenal. No expenses. We're hoping, like I said, I just rotated the tires a couple weeks ago myself. I didn't videotape it again. That's got to be getting boring. So I'm like, I'm not doing any more tire rotation videos. You know, that's 15 minutes of your life you can't get back if I do that. So, and I do it for free. I love to do it in my garage. You know, I did it before we took the Model Y to Estes Park, Colorado. So it was due. I think it was at right around 37,000 miles. I rotated them. I'm trying to do them about every 6,000 miles. So I'd love to get 60,000 miles out of these tires. So we'll see. But other than that, I just wanted to touch base with you and let you know I'm going to be doing some more of the Bolt videos, whether it's some Uber stuff or anything else you guys would like to see. This car, I know I'm beating on the bandwagon here for especially all the Bolt owners. Anybody who's driven a Bolt, they love them. It's a great car. So I'm not gonna keep pounding on the bandwagon here. But I just wanted to touch base, let you guys know Thor is by no means going by the wayside. And I'm actually, it's funny I say this. In the beginning, I was looking at trading Thor to get our Model Y and keep my wife's minivan. Well, the depreciation was so bad that we decided not happening. No, I'm not going to have a $6,000 depreciation after 1 year on this car. So, thankfully, the depreciation was so bad, we're going to keep this fantastic car. And hopefully I keep it for, well, I'd like to keep it for, you know, just to see what we can do. I like to keep my cars a long time normally. I had old Volkswagen Rabbit diesels back in the late 70s, early 80s. I always drove them 250,000 miles. The old, they had no power. Just the Rabbit diesels were just, I loved it because I got 50 miles per gallon, but you know, no power, no, they just ran and ran and ran though. And that's what I would just run them until the door handles fell off, which is usually what happened. Everything else went wrong, but the engine and transmission just kept going. The whole rest of the car just fell apart all the time. I had 2 of them back in the days. Loved them. So we normally keep our cars. That's why I had the Prius till I had 250,000 miles, 242,000 miles on it. Gave it to my granddaughter. Those kind of things. Now we got the old Chevy Equinox that's running around with 210 or 212,000 miles on it. You know, that's kind of cool. Those are the kind of things. We just drive them until there's no use to trade them in anywhere. They're not worth anything. So the best thing to do is just drive them. And drive them. They do nothing but save you money once a car's paid for, and you just drive it and drive it and drive it. Just, you might as well just do that. We're not the kind of people that trade every few years and do stuff like that anyway. So with that, I think I'll call this to a close. I appreciate it. Please like, subscribe, and if you have any comments, you know where to put them. Be safe. So here's the PowerSmart pricing for today, July 16th, 2024. And here's the hours. I'll zoom in. So there's the price. All right, it's getting a little blurry. Hang on. So as you can see, let's move over here in the middle of the night. Here's the midnight, 1 a.m., 2.3 cents a kilowatt, 2.14, 2.14, 2.1 cents or whatever, 2.5 during the night. Okay. Let me back up and show you what the previous day's 24 hours was. This was yesterday. Some of these down here are 1.8 cents a kilowatt, 2 cents a kilowatt during the middle of the night. And then look over here where it started to get really, really hot from 3, 4, 5, and 6 p.m. You can tell it's pretty expensive right there. And then it tapers back down. So I think that's what we like. Now tomorrow's isn't in until 5:30, I think. Let's see. Yep, it's not out for another, it's about 5:25 right now p.m. when I'm doing this video. So at 5:30, tomorrow's Power Smart pricing will pop up and you can see it for the whole day. So, all right, take care, guys.